Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I am so happy that you guys showed up because that is very, very important, showing up for yourself and showing up for others. So I stand here today before you not just as an advocate, but as someone who has actually journeyed herself through tumultuous times of mental health challenges and triumphs. And before I tell you a little bit about my story, I want to just share one fundamental truth, and that is mental health is physical health. Both are indispensable to our overall well-being. So my journey began when I was in middle school, at a time in my community when people that looked like me didn't seek mental health care. However, my mother saw that I was in crisis and she acted promptly, securing for me a lifeline through weekly counseling sessions. But the path was not smooth for me, because see, my peers found out why I was leaving school early once a week. And the bullying that I already faced intensified. Echoes of being called crazy filled the school hallways. And of course, that sanctuary that I found in counseling became the barrier for me. I didn't want to go anymore. And that is proof that how stigma and shame can actually prevent people from getting the care that they need. Now, to add to my challenge, I faced many adverse childhood experiences, including a family history of mental illness that predisposed me to many diagnoses. And then after that, I went to college and I faced a severe crisis and attempted to take my life and battled persistent suicidal ideation. On top of that, I just continued to face the fear of getting help that I needed. I faced many barriers. It was the stigma, it was the cost, it was the access, it was being able to find culturally competent therapists and those who can treat my diagnosis, which included PTSD, major depressive disorder, anxiety and panic disorder, and chronic insomnia. And that is why I am here today, because I use my voice and my stories, and despite the many dark days that I faced, to share with others so they won't suffer in silence like I once did. And do you know that the sooner you get care, that increases your positive outcomes on your mental health? The National Alliance on Mental Illness says that 70 to 90% of people that get the right treatments and care, they can actually flourish. They can have a better life outcome. And I'm standing here before you today to say that God, plus therapy, plus medication, or whatever you need, take advantage of it. Educate yourself, educate our elected officials and policymakers so that others can get the help that they need. In 2019, there was a therapist shortage, and I had to drive 3 hours to Hampton Roads to get care. Nobody should have to do that. Mental health is not a privilege, but it's a right for me, you, and anyone else. And so we have to use our voice and our stories to share with others, advocate for others so that they will not have to drive 3 hours, or better, worse, not get the care that they need. So that is my story. I'm glad that you guys came. I see that it's starting to rain, so I'm going to cut this short. But just know that you matter, your mental health matter, and getting help is not a sign of weakness. It's a responsibility, and it's a sign of wisdom. Thank you.